Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 3. Today we're going to be talking about Hereditary.
Get ready for a discussion of movies and art forms that capture the feelings we try to avoid but love to indulge. Horror. Welcome to the Red Right Lodge. Yeah, this is a great movie. I really love this one.
Me too.
Released in 2018. Director was Ari Aster.
Yep.
He also did Midsummer, and he's coming out with Beau is Afraid, which I'm sure we'll watch that too. Not sure exactly what it is, whether it's horror or not, but certainly have enjoyed his movie so far.
Yeah. So, isn't this a A24 film too?
This is an A24 film. I don't know if you've heard of A24, but we enjoy a lot of their titles. There's just a smaller studio, I
don't
guess.
think they've come out with any movies I haven't liked, to be honest.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I feel like I like all of their movies.
A few of them were Ex Machina, that movie about the AI.
Yeah, that's
they
kind
did
of
that.
like an older one.
Yeah, that was the older one, the first one. The Witch.
Yes, I love that one.
X is a more recent one.
Yeah,
And
Pearl?
I don't know if they
Is
did
that the
Pearl
same
or not.
one?
It's the
X.
same director and writer, but X is that one you're talking about. But also in your favorite movie, they released Tusk.
Oh, Tusk.
We'll talk about that in a YouTube show.
I don't like that movie.
But this one, Hereditary, I consider it like a supernatural horror, a cult horror. I guess some people may lump it in with folk horror.
That's what I was
not
just
sure.
going to say. I was just
It could
thinking,
be that too.
I think it's more like folk horror, in my opinion. Kind of like a modern suburban folk horror. You know what I mean?
Yeah, those categories really do blend.
Because when you think of folk, you think of people in the woods and
yeah, folky.
maybe more so like The Witch.
Like The Witch,
Yeah, you don't necessarily think of your modern day suburban family.
Right, which is what this story is about.
But not so average.
Yes. It's
Got
also
some strange things about this family.
Yes. There's also a lot of like anticipatory horror, like it's just a dread.
It's got you
like
on the edge of your seat.
On the edge of your seat, yeah, like wondering what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
Not a lot of jump scares, but it's not about that really.
Definitely some surprises.
Some surprises.
Some things you did not see coming.
Which we will talk about later. And so up top, we want to say there will be spoilers later in the show.
So
but
if you haven't seen the movie, or
you can keep watching for now. But
about spoilers.
Yeah, we'll highlight that right before we get into it. Let's talk about the cast.
Yeah.
Toni Collette, Gabriel Byrne, Alex Wolff, Miley Shapiro, and Ann Dowd. We'll talk about who they are in a minute, but it's basically centered around just them.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of extras, but it's really built around those
just
people,
the family,
those
basically.
characters, the family and a friend.
And a friend.
So Collette, Toni Collette, she was in. You might recognize her from Sixth Sense a long time ago, from Krampus, and the one that you were more familiar with,
The United States of Terror.
Yes, United States of Terror.
Yeah, that one was good.
And she was in a bunch of, all of these people were in other things that we're not going to mention.
Yeah, she's been in a bunch of stuff, though.
But we can't mention everything.
No, we can't.
So more of the horror adjacent stuff we'll mention. And next, actually since then, she was in Knives Out.
Yeah.
And Pieces of Her, which a lot of people seem to like. We haven't watched that yet.
I can't remember if I have or not.
Maybe you have.
I might have.
So next we have Gabriel Byrne. Oh, we should say who she plays.
Yeah.
Her character is Annie Graham, and she plays the mom.
The mother.
Yeah, this is the movie about the Graham family. So she plays Annie. Next is the dad, Stephen, and he's played by Gabriel Byrne, who some of you might recognize from a long time ago. He was in Excalibur, awesome movie, who had tons of stars in it. Y'all can look that up for yourself. But he was also in something called Cool World.
I don't think I know that one.
So it was that mashup.
Yeah. I haven't seen that in years though, and
Yeah,
you were
most people
just
haven't.
telling me that too, and I
No,
forgot.
that's okay. It's that live action,
Yeah, with the
animated
cartoons.
mashup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Brad Pitt was in it. Kim Basinger.
Mm-hmm.
So he was in that, and he was in one of my favorite movies, Dead Man, which everybody should check out. It's got, well, I don't want to spoil it. You should just check it out. Dead Man.
We're not going to spoil that movie,
Yeah,
but we
not
are going
yet.
to spoil Hereditary.
Right. Okay, so the son, Peter, he is played by an actor named Alex Wolff, who was in shows and some movies before. He was in an episode of Monk. He probably was a little kid when that came out.
Yeah, probably.
And most notably, he is starring in an upcoming show called So Long Marianne, about one of my favorite artists, Leonard Cohen. So we're going to check that out for sure.
Mm-hmm. Do you know when it comes out?
No, I don't. Maybe I can put that up in the in text when I edit, but no, I don't know when it comes out. Soon, I hope. But that's a show. That's gonna be a show.
Do you know what it's streaming on? No.
I don't know that either. They may not know that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it might not have been released.
I can't even. I don't even know
it might not be that far
where they
into
are. Yeah, I'm not sure. Miley Shapiro plays the daughter.
The daughter.
Charlie.
I definitely thought it was the same girl from
The Last of Us.
The Last of
The
Us.
Last of Us.
The Last of Us. And
yeah.
I thought that maybe they had done like some makeup.
And she would have been older whenever that came out.
But apparently they're two completely different girls. And also, that little girl was 15 years old, and I literally thought she was like 8 years old.
Yeah, she plays off younger.
I thought she was super young. I was shocked to find out she was an entire teenager. Like, what?
And she's she's playing Matilda in the theatrical version. And so last on our list of main characters is Ann Dowd, who plays the character Joan, who's
the grandma?
No, not the grandma.
Oh.
The grandma's not really in the movie, but there's, she's part of the movie. But Ann Dowd is Joan, the friend, the woman who befriends Annie, the mother.
Oh,
but we'll talk about that in a minute.
She was in that movie that was on HBO with the people in the white outfits and the smoking. The Leftovers. She was in The Leftovers. Okay. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. She also, like a lot of actors, got their. I don't know if she got her start there, but she was in an episode of X-Files. It's funny when you go back and watch the X-Files, you'll say, "Whoa, there's who?
What's her
so-and-so."
face?
Yeah. So she was in that, and actually, in a matter of 8 years, she played 5 different characters on Law and Order in different episodes.
She was popping.
So, yeah, she's done a lot of work.
She was their go-to.
Yeah.
We'll just get her to play her again. They won't remember her from the last episode.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so now Hereditary.
Hereditary.
This, like we said before, is a movie about the Graham family.
So what does hereditary mean?
Well, like things that are inherited.
Okay.
Yeah, and that does tie into the story.
Yeah.
The movie opens with showing an obituary.
Yeah,
just
right.
in text.
Just a normal.
Yeah, just sounds like a normal, list in the family that surviving family, and the grandma has died. The character Annie's mother, she has died, and then it very interestingly zooms in to a miniature that the mom. She makes miniatures. She makes houses, and we don't know what for. It doesn't really explain
like her
marketing
art.
or some sort.
She does like little diagrams, and they're really
dioramas and stuff. Like that.
That's dioramas of like her family. It's like she's working on some art project, and she's got ones from she's got her living room, she's got her kitchen, she's got one scene where it's like her daughter and her mom, and and
then she does that she also is doing them for some sort of business, like there's a church and there's a hospital and stuff like that. But anyway, so there's this cutaway of their house, and it zooms slowly in on this bedroom and then the bed, and Peter, the son, is laying there, and it wakes up, and then it's suddenly a live action scene of him. It was really interesting editing when they did that.
It was like, hold on, wait a second.
Right. And then the father, Steve, it shows him going out to the treehouse on the grounds and waking up the young girl, Charlie, who had slept out there overnight.
Oh, yeah.
And you could tell there's some sort of issues, not sure what's going on, but she was slept out there in the cold, and he brings her in. Then we discover early on that she has like food allergies, a nut allergy for one.
Yeah.
And that will come into play as a plot device later. And so, like we said, Annie's mother was recently deceased. She was the one the obituary was about, and they weren't very close. You can tell whenever she gives like a eulogy.
They're kind of like estranged.
Yeah, they were never close. Like, she was a very difficult woman to be close to. Maybe a lot of mystery surrounding. She didn't know much about her. She was a very private person. So we don't know anything about the grandma. You don't meet her. You don't see her or anything. Well, you see pictures, but that's it.
Yeah.
Pretty early on. I mean, there's a lot of building of characters and story, but there's a high school party that Peter has been invited to.
And the little girl, she's a little strange. So the mom's like, look, you need to take your sister because she doesn't do anything. She doesn't go anywhere, and she doesn't want to go.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to take her.
He doesn't want to take her.
The mom makes her go, and so they go. He takes her to this party, which is definitely
obviously
not appropriate for this kid. I think she's
13.
She's she's 13. That's right. I don't know.
Totally shouldn't be at a senior, junior.
No, they're all
high
drinking.
school. Yeah,
it's one of those kind of. There's a DJ and a house party.
Yeah, with no parents, obviously.
Yeah.
No supervision.
So, but anyway,
so now we need to alert our listeners that there's going to be spoilers here on out.
Yeah.
Just saying. Just wanted
well,
to
we
say.
told you guys at the beginning.
Yes.
They know.
Yes.
So anyway, so the brother, he's doing his own thing, and the little girl, she sees them. They're getting some cake together, because it's a birthday party. So she goes and she has a slice, and turns out there's nuts in this cake, and she starts having an extreme reaction, and she finds her brother. And they take off, and they're on their way to the hospital. They're driving, trying to get her to the doctor, and
clutching at her neck.
Yeah, so she's in the back seat, and she's feeling really stuffy, and she decides to roll the window down, and she's like gasping for air out of the window, and then all of a sudden she pokes her head out all the way, and her brother sees a dog. Or something.
A dead deer in the road.
In the road.
And he swerves. Miss it.
And as he does that, there's a pole on the side of the road.
Telephone pole, yep.
And she hits it and is instantly decapitated.
Yes.
And dies.
Now,
and this is very early in the movie.
Yeah, on the way there.
Very shocking.
When they're driving, they drive past this. It's in a broad shot. They drive past this
the
telephone pole. And
you don't notice it the first time you watch the movie.
And it has and it zooms in, and it has a symbol.
It had a symbol
on the and it's a symbol that is recurrent in the movie.
I didn't really notice it the first time.
The first time I watched it? No, I didn't either. Well, you're not looking for it.
No, exactly. But you notice it the second time. It's like, wait a second.
Yeah, that's right. The family at that point begins to unravel. Annie wakes up and is starting to go to the store or something in the morning.
And then she finds
and
her
hear her
daughter's
screaming.
body.
Yeah, her headless body in the car.
Yeah.
So yeah, the grief that takes place after that, it's sort of the catalyst that moves us forward in the story. I mean, it's just really a lot of tension, especially now between
the mother and the son. She blames him, but then in reality, it's like, hey, you're the one who forced her to go to the party. Yeah,
and they do have an encounter, a confrontation at the dinner table. Great scene, actually.
Well, now your sister is dead, and I know you miss her, And I know it was an accident, and I know you're in pain, and I wish I could take that away for you. I wish I could shield you from the knowledge that you did what you did, but your sister is dead.
They have a little back and forth, and it's very emotional and personal. Mm-hmm. So also, and I forgot to mention this earlier, like throughout the movie, even in the first few scenes, I think you see these strange like lens flares or pulses of light, and you don't know what it is, but they're usually tied into something else that's happening in the narrative.
They look to me strange. Like, you know, like you would think it's like a spirit.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to communicate.
It's like a beam of light.
Something, yeah. So, and you see those periodically through the movie. Now,
it's like there's a spirit in the house, possibly the grandma.
Yeah. So the mother, whenever her mother died, when the grandmother died, she went to this support group.
Yeah.
And she went like once, I guess.
She didn't like it.
And she didn't really like it. And then after the daughter dies,
she decided to go back.
A few weeks later, I guess, she goes back, and this woman Joan comes up to her and starts having a conversation. She says, "Oh, I remember you from whenever you came and your mother died."
She basically befriends her.
She befriends her, yeah.
And convinces her to continue coming to the grief counseling, the group therapy, and to even come and visit her in her own home from occasion.
Yes, that is her motive. Yeah. So she goes to her house, and so she had lost a daughter or a child and a grandchild.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
That's why she was in the grief counseling.
Mm-hmm.
But she discovered that she could make contact with them by way of a seance.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's right.
She sees her at the grocery store.
She convinces her, and she's like, "Hey, I can help you see your daughter again. I know how." And immediately, I'm just thinking, hell no, that's evil. Like anything like that's obviously not going to be my loved one. That's obviously going to be a demon. I mean, duh. But I don't know. She falls for it, and she goes over there, and they actually attempt to do this, and something happens. She gets spooked. I think what happened again?
Well, the cup moved on the table.
Yeah, like some stuff was moving.
Yeah, and it is something like, as the viewer, you could say, and a skeptic, you'd be like, if she knew she was going to do this, she could have set this up somehow.
Oh yeah,
she could have faked it. But it does happen, and it freaks Annie out. She leaves.
Yeah, she's like, no, I don't want to do this anymore.
Right. But eventually, she does want to do it. So after there was a confrontation with Peter and his mom at the dinner table, and maybe a few scenes later or a little bit later, she's actually she comes into his room at night, and it's like right up in his face, and it's like, Peter, and he's freaked out.
Oh yeah,
because
that's right. Something
happened when they were kids. She was a sleepwalker, but apparently not anymore. The mother, and she was sleepwalking when they were little kids and had doused them all in lighter fluid.
Oh yeah.
And was getting ready to strike a match, but she woke up and didn't do it. So there's all this background between the two of them. So Peter's afraid of his mother deep down.
I would be too.
And especially after he accidentally killed his sister. Yeah. And so, but eventually his mother is like overly apologetic and like wakes him up in the middle of the night. Anyway, she takes him downstairs and gets Steve, the dad, Steven, and they're gonna do the seance.
Oh yeah, that's right. She wakes him up in the middle of the night. She's like, "All right, let's have a seance." Like, that's not creepy at all, Mom.
Right. Let's wait till 3 o'clock in the morning to do this. I don't know. We don't know what time it was, but it was in the middle of the night. So they go and do this, and it works.
It works.
Now you don't see the daughter, but you see like evidences of some sort of supernatural force.
Thank you, Charlie. That was
and it
so
freaks
good.
Peter out. And the dad's kind of getting upset now. Okay, now you gotta stop freaking him out.
Yeah. Yeah, but, because the dad is still of sound mind. He's like, hey, this is still our son.
Right, yeah. He
He's the only one who has sympathy for him. And the mother has like zero sympathy because it's not his fault.
No, it was a complete accident.
It was an accident. She was sticking her head out the window, and that's why you don't stick your head out the window. Because you might get decapitated.
That is the true takeaway from this movie.
And he didn't know her head was sticking out the window because
he didn't know.
And he's going 100 miles per hour trying to get her to the hospital.
That's true.
So he was speeding too.
So yeah, right. That's true. So moving along, Peter goes to school, and he's upset. He's still grieving, and he is sitting at his desk, and something crazy happens. He has this short seizure,
and then he starts hallucinating. He's looking at his reflection in the mirror, and his reflection is smiling, and he is not.
Oh yeah, that happens as well. That's right.
And that's when I don't know if it's before or after, but it's all like he starts having these episodes in school.
Something's going on.
And then
after
he starts
the seance,
like seizing out, and then he's hits his head on the desk, and
something. He's attacked supernaturally.
Yeah,
it slams his head on.
It took over his body or something.
So he's out cold.
Yeah.
Can you breathe?
Peter, what are you doing?
The dad goes to get him from school, takes him, puts him in his bed, and he's out. And then the dad and the mom have an interaction. They're talking back and forth. Mom has been has seen this journal of, or is a diary or whatever that Charlie was keeping, the daughter, and this automatic drawing has been coming up on the pages, and flip and page. You see this is also sprinkled in the storyline, and so she tries to burn it, and it
caught
her on fire. So she throws it in, and then her arm catches on fire. So she pulls it out. She puts herself out, and then that probably happened before Peter got attacked at the school. But she comes at this point. Peter's asleep upstairs.
That happened. I was like during. That was during.
While he was at school.
Because when he comes home.
Yeah, that's it. And then the dad.
Or when he wakes up from his nap.
No, he's still asleep at this point. And the dad, and she convinces the dad to throw it in the fire.
She's like, I can't kill myself, but this is gonna end it. So we gotta burn this. We gotta throw this in the fire, but I need you to do it.
Because she's expecting to catch on fire and die.
And he won't do it. He's like, this is nonsense. I'm not playing into your hallucinations, your delusions, whatever.
He's a psychiatrist,
she says,
by the way.
fine. She grabs it, throws it in the fire, and then all of a sudden, she doesn't combust, but he does. Just engulfs into flames and
just burns to charcoal
and
right there in front of her eyes.
She doesn't stop it. She's just like,
she's in shock.
It's almost like she was possessed at that point.
I don't know. I didn't really think about it that way. I was thinking she was just in shock. And I don't know what you would have done anyway. It was like instant.
Grab the freaking book out of the fire like you did when it caught yourself on fire.
Maybe so.
Duh.
But anyway, he dies.
He dies.
Lays on the floor.
And the son comes home or comes downstairs and he's like, hey, where's everybody at? And he's investigating, and then all of a sudden he sees his poor dad's body just laying there, burnt, charred to a crisp.
Yeah. And in the background,
oh my gosh, so creepy.
You see Annie, how they sit up in the corner like a spider,
a spider in the corner.
Yeah, and it's hardly visible.
She's like
you might not catch it, so it's really chilling when you do see it.
So creepy.
And then she drops down, runs out the room, and he hears her.
And he's like, Mom, where are you? What's going on? And then he goes up to his bedroom, and she's still crawling around on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And then and at some point she's chasing him around the house, and like she's obviously possessed at this
Yeah,
point.
she like jumps down and he sees her, freaks out, and starts running, and they're like chasing each other, full on run.
And he makes it up to the attic, where he locks the door behind him.
Yeah,
and
runs
sees...
upstairs. I would have ran outside.
yeah. I mean, he wasn't thinking. He was recently just knocked out.
But sometimes it's hard the action to get the door open. It's easier to just run.
Yeah, that's true. Because you got to stop to open the door.
Yeah, you do.
But anyway, he ends up in the attic. And that's where he eventually sees his mom up there. And she's like floating in the air. And she's taking a...
we forgot to tell them how they found the grandma's body up in the attic, too.
That's true. So before that, before the book
incident.
Yeah,
it was before that. She was up there.
Yeah, the dad goes up there. Yeah, she goes up there and sees the grandma's body is up there.
Grandma's body is up there.
Yeah, and there's all these symbols, which happens to be the same symbols on the post, the telephone pole. And then eventually...
she's like looking through her mom's stuff. Then she stumbles upon like this doormat, and her lady friend from the group,
Joan,
she had the same kind of doormats as her mom.
Yes, and they're in pictures together.
Embroidered, hand-embroidered, real witchy looking crap.
Well, and they're also in pictures together, and it looks like they're doing some midsummer type of stuff.
So comes to find out, Joan knows her mom.
Yes.
This whole time knew her mom.
Peter ends up in the attic. His mom is up there as well, and she's floating in the air, and she's floating, sawing her own head off
she's
with a piano wire.
Oh my God, I know.
And as she's doing this, looking down on Peter, and Peter freaks out and jumps out the window and lands on the ground. And then you hear a thud and a roll, which is her head falling and hitting the ground.
It wasn't just her up there.
What's that?
There was also like a
other
bunch
people
of
were
old
up
naked
there.
people in the attic.
That's right. And then you see that light, it hovers over him. And then he wakes up. So it's a ritual, these beheadings were some sort of sacrificial rite to call on King Payman, which is an ancient evil. He's actually listed in a bunch of grimoires, and they note him as like he's Satan's helper or Lucifer's helper, and and so he's the keeper of secrets and the knower of things, and so these people who have gathered together and done this rite are trying to summon him. Now, the interesting thing that Joan says, like at the end, and I don't know if we want to describe the last scene or not in the treehouse.
Well, wasn't it? It was like, okay, so it had to be a boy.
Yes.
He can only be born into men. And something about how, like, the little girl.
Right, so they corrected his first body. So apparently, he was inhabiting the little girl.
He already inhabits people.
And it wasn't correct. It wasn't right. He couldn't do what they wanted him to do or do what he wanted to do. But they corrected his mortal form and gave him Peter's body.
His death and her death was always meant to happen.
Yes, planned.
Yeah, so them driving past that pole, that telephone pole with the symbol, it was like meant to, like, no matter what, something, I think that was going to kill her, whether it had been a car accident, but her just sticking her head out, made it that much easier for the spell to work, I guess.
Right.
And so that was very creepy, though, how they did that at the end.
Yes. Yeah, how they set it up, and then you had all those naked people, and Joan were bowing down to a statue of King Payman with Charlie's head stuck on top.
The little girl's dead head.
And then had a crown on it, and they took the crown off in the last scene and put the crown on Peter's head.
Yeah, it definitely had some midsummery, like if you've seen Midsummer and you like culty type weird stuff, you should watch it because it definitely doesn't give off those vibes from like the cover or like when you like
No,
look
it doesn't
at it.
really. The cover
No.
is good, but it doesn't.
No.
It doesn't
Give off cult vibes at all. But it's
And-
definitely a cult movie.
I don't remember watching the trailer, so I don't even know how much
I
that.
don't either because that was a while
exposes.
ago. 2018.
Yeah, 2018.
Felt like we needed to talk about something modern though. This was my pick. Just so you guys know.
Yes.
I was like, let's talk about something
Yes.
modern. How
Love
about
this movie,
Hereditary?
It's very
So
good.
if you've seen Hereditary before, let us know. If you haven't, then be sure to check it out and let us know what you
Yes.
thought.
And leave comments and like and subscribe.
Yeah, is there anything else we want to talk about? I didn't even like cut it off.
No, I think that's it. I mean, we kind of pretty much covered the whole movie.
We might have missed a couple scenes, but we
I
also
hope
tried
so,
to make
actually.
it quicker.
Yes.
We didn't want to
Yeah, we don't want another
make the
40,
video too long.
40 minute video.
We don't know. What do you guys think? 30 minutes or like an hour?
Yeah,
So I wonder how long this was.
that'd be good feedback.
Yeah, let us know what you think. But yeah, Hereditary. You guys should definitely watch it. It's
Yes.
crazy.
Yes.
It's scary.
Yes. Absolutely dreadful.
It is scary. Like it's a good one.
It is good.
Yeah, y'all should watch it.
All right. Well, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.